I'm Renee, an American.
And I'm Jesse, a Kiwi.
He's a water boy.
And she's a plant girl.
We are from opposite sides of the world.
But we met in a tiny town in the northwest tip of Australia.
We live in Sydney with our little man, Quentin.
And love the simple things in life.
Being outdoors.
Exploring.
Traveling.
And taking the time to watch the sunset.
Tune in for our next adventure. It's 2021, and we've been living with the COVID-19 pandemic for over a year now. And we wanted to take some time to reminisce back over what this weird year has been like. How did it start in Australia? What was it like? What were we doing?
There wasn't much restrictions to start off with, but all the toilet paper was going.
My family was visiting, so this was March 2020, and they were over here from the USA. Then suddenly there was all this craziness and questions, and nobody knew what was happening and what you could do and what you couldn't do, what was safe, if you were going to get sick.
Am I allowed to go stay in Airbnb?
Yeah, we had one booked for Jervis Bay for my mom, my sister, and I. They sent us a message saying that you can get a full refund if you don't want to go. But if your host is happy to have you, then you can go at your own risk. So we went.
We turned around and there was a giant one. Right after we turned around. Right after we gave up waiting for so long and got the cabin and up in.
Whoa! That was a big one.
My favorite thing about Australia is getting to visit my sister and my brother-in-law and go on all sorts of fun adventures. They're much more adventurous than my mom and I, so they make us go on hikes and go to outings and see the beautiful nature. So that's why I like to go to Australia.
Oh, no, here he comes. So Jesse and I woke up really early one morning to go hit the grocery store thinking that we could be standing in line for ages and that we needed to buy all these supplies for our trip. We stuck to all of our actual plans. We also took a boat trip through Jervis Bay.
The boat tour, that was slightly nerve-wracking because that was really the only time that we were like in close contact with people because we were sitting on the boat.
And we were nervous about that, but I don't think, in hindsight, probably didn't need to be because the small towns didn't have hardly any COVID for a long time.
Yeah, we didn't have any problems. We got to see some dolphins, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw dolphins. I think there was even a baby dolphin.
Came right past the boat, and so we were all scrambling trying to get over the side to see them and take pictures. And the sun was warm and there was a bit of a breeze, so it was a beautiful day. the boat ride was kind of rough. We were in the waves and the boat would go up and then crash down and go up and crash down and go up and crash down with the waves. And Robin and I got a tiny bit queasy.
We visited a couple of the beaches in Jervis Bay. The first one we went to was Murray's Beach. Do you remember that one, Robin?
Yes, I do remember that one, specifically the hike, because we found an echidna in the woods.
Mom was behind us, and we walked right by it and didn't even notice it. And then she said, I heard some rustling.
Well, and I think one of the reasons we didn't see the echidna at first because we were looking at a wallaby. That was a good little hike. We didn't go swimming. We did look. I looked for a bunch of seashells. So I don't think I found any sea glass, but I got a bunch of cool shells.
We visited Hyams Beach too, which was a first for me. We had never made it, Jesse and I, despite all the times we've been to Jervis Bay, had never made it to that beach because it was pretty popular and there's not really that many places to park.
And you guys went midweek, is that right?
Yeah, we went midweek and there was hardly anybody there, so it was easy to socially distance then. Pre-social distancing concepts.
It was warm in the sun, but if you got in the shade, there was a bit of a breeze, and so that would get a little bit chilly. But the sun was nice and warm.
Drop something. No! Is it right here? Oh, wait. There's a little piggy.
I think so. Here comes another one. When we drove home from our trip in Jervis Bay, we drove inland through Kangaroo Valley and we stopped for lunch at a pie shop.
The pies that we got were pretty tasty, and I also got an L&P from a little shop, so I got to drink that with my pie too, which was also delicious.
And then we stopped at Fitzroy Falls.
This was our second time going to Fitzroy Falls. We came last time we came to Australia. And both times I have looked in the river to see if there is a platypus, and I have not been able to find any. Very disappointing. We did stop on the way out at the gift shop, and I got my own little stuffed platypus to bring home.
And Quentin got a giant wombat, which he loves to play with.
Lyrebirds. That was pretty exciting because they were just going like crazy chasing each other through the woods.
Maybe it was mating season.
Yeah, I think it was. And their tails was just flying out behind them with all their long feathers.
They were running quite quickly and making a lot of noise.
Yeah. So we were able to get some video of that.
That was a rare sighting. Uh-oh.